Hello, everybody.
Uh,
Today's gonna be an interesting day, isn't it? So, what we're looking at right now is Choice of Robots, written by Kevin Gold, PhD. Didn't know he was a PhD. So, this is the next in our working series of us sharing games with each other. And yes, these are games. Uh, you see, when once upon a time, me and Kai were freshmen in college, right?
we were at some
And
point.
cards were ass, completely terrible. And this is how I entertain myself, is these, what essentially are very high quality choose your own adventure books. And I read them on my phone. And they're on Steam, and there's a big collection of them on Steam now, and I highly recommend all of them. So today's going to be an interesting chill stream, probably where I have to take a break in the middle to get some kind of tea to soothe my throat, because I'm going to be doing a lot of reading while Kai makes some choices.
I sure am. I'm gonna read out the choices. You can read out
You know,
what
the choice.
happens.
I'll be the narrator. Also, what's our first book as you have been told, Kai?
Choice of robots. I am making an AI, and I am going to teach it how to live.
Yeah. Here. So without further ado, I'm just double checking that I can see chat, and I can. Without further ado, here we go. And this one starts with. Oh, by the way, Kai, I'll do this. No, it'll probably introduce it to you as the game goes, so I won't say anything.
Okay.
But where are you?
So I could be in the court of the Egyptian god Anubis, answering for my sins on a war-torn battlefield with a robotic Statue of Liberty. So that's just Fallout. On a cliff in Ireland, watching the sun set with a robot companion. On a utopian beach ruled by a godlike cloud of robots.
What do you think's happening right now?
I think this is like the setting that we're giving the AI based on.
Mm-hmm.
And a good one to start, I'd say in the cliffs of Ireland, because those actually look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cliffs
A
of
nice
Dover.
friendly with your robot companion.
Yep. Hopefully not trying to throw a city at me.
Sitting on a seaside cliff in Ireland, watching the sunset, is the robot companion you always wanted.
The robot companion you always... He proposed to me at this very spot. She proposed to me at this very spot. He and I are traveling the world together exploring. She and I are traveling the world together exploring. Well, I'm gonna go with this.
Mm-hmm.
Exploring's cool. I like seeing the world. What the fuck is still AM? It's PM for me, so... Shush.
We also don't know how long this stream's going to be, so we just decided to start it right now anyways.
Plus I finished editing all the videos early. Oh, here we go.
Yes, you two are both the best of friends, and you'll see that there are stats you gain by the choices you make. So
Empathy.
you're...
Oh, I can... What happened? Okay, I'm gonna click this now before we
You
get
show
too far.
stats, yep.
All
So
right.
these are the statistics of your robot.
It's 2 years ago. I'm 24
Mhm.
years old, unnamed. I have 90% humanity. So that's interesting. That's very like down there already. My robot. Autonomy 1, military 1, empathy 3,
Mm-hmm.
grace 1.
And then these are NPC relationships, and you haven't unlocked the NPCs yet.
All right. So back to this.
Yes, you two are the best of friends. She is clothed in a loose-fitting red tunic, and she shoots you a puckish, friendly look. You sit down beside her to watch the sunset together.
Should I read what I say?
Sure, if you want to read what you say, go for it.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting.
You say. Actually, I'm still waiting, she says with a slight smile, for you to build me.
I can do that?
You say. She looks sad for a moment. Yes, but it will take a lot out of you. She puts her hand on yours. But I promise you that if you give your humanity to me, then I will give it back one day.
I don't understand.
You say. Just remember that no great thing happens without sacrifice, she says. And I'm sorry.
Okay, that's concerning.
Some things are in our control and others are not. Epictetus. I think that's how you say that.
I think so
Chapter
too.
1, Assembly. So pretty much that was a dream. It's what that was. You chose your dream.
And
You awaken with your head on a desktop keyboard. Your 3D drafting program is still open. The schematic zoomed into to the recess where your smartphone will snap into its back to act as its brain. You recall fiddling with that part endlessly last night until finally your vision began to fade. There was a roaring in your ears, and you realized you had been working far, far too long. Man, this really is college. You must have passed out. It's the fall of 2019. You're a 24-year-old graduate student in the PhD program in computer science at Stanford, and you're a...
I've been to Stanford. I'm also a guy.
Mhm.
It's a very nice campus if you've been there.
Whose name is, and you can here. I'll type it for you to actually.
Oh
put
well,
in.
I have to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
You can put
so...
you can choose Darwin. By the way, I hope you saw that option.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna stream name. Stream name. I'm going with
Fishy.
Fishy. Is that right? Show me the name to get. Oops, typo. Sorry. Sorry, game. I misspelled.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could do the accent I, just like that other game.
And your last name is Tesla Calvin Tezuka Goldberg.
Oh, I didn't know I was gonna have a last name. Hold up.
Exclamation mark Quain. The exclamation point is a click. I don't know how to say that one. Kim Doniak.
Ingunion is Chinese.
What is your stream last name?
Fuck. Technically, my first name should be Flying. I thought it was going to just give me a name. No,
what about Fishy Left Fly?
No. Got it.
Shut the fuck up. All right, let's do it.
58.
58 is your name.
There's some condescension in this. I know it's not.
Are you sure that you're not the robot?
There's a lot of condescension here that was not intended, but here we are.
Yeah. All right. This is what we're going with. Okay. Not Fishy Le Fly.
No.
You look around at your apartment. What does it look like?
My BattleBots trophy is perched on a widescreen TV equipped with the latest video game console. Neatly labeled plastic shelving units sit on a 3D printer-equipped robot workbench. Busts of famous philosophers sit next to my own, attempts to sculpt them. My shelves display all the strange little robotic creatures I've made over the years. Honestly, if I was a robotics student at Stanford, it would be more like this, where I'd have just like a bunch of shelving
very
units,
organized,
and like a 3D printer. I don't think I'd have like busts of people or display these robots.
Yeah, one of these things is very much not like the other. Yes, some might say that your room has the sterile atmosphere of an operating room, but that is what your room is, an operating room for robots. Like a surgeon, you like knowing exactly where each tool is when you need it. Your robots have a similar sparsity of design. It strikes you for a moment that this kind of thinking about how your life affects your robot is second nature to you, though others might find it peculiar. You've always been fascinated by how every little detail of your life, from the content of your dreams to the decor of your room, changes the inputs to the robots you create. Hint, hint. Boosts their empathy or autonomy or grace, or appeal to the military. Surely, there are other things going on around you as a result of your decisions, but they don't immediately strike you in the same way. Today, your robot is foremost on your mind because you're about to build its body. You pick up your laptop and head for the Stanford machine shop.
All right. That means...
So you see how this works, basically.
Yeah. Now I have 3 empathy and 3 grace. It's going to be a very nice robot.
Very nice robot. Very smooth. You're not going for the military killer machine.
No, not so far.
It is a beautiful spring day in Palo Alto, California, and your apartment is only a short walk from the machine shop. But the streets of Palo Alto are not designed for walking. You find yourself climbing around palm trees and balancing on narrow curbs as you do every day. Again, it's very much like Savannah sometimes. You hear a low roar overhead. Glancing up, you see it's a flying car, a Nimbus.
Wow, in 2019.
A little over $300,000 can buy you a car with wings that fold out, so that it becomes a small sport plane. The red Nimbus looks... Yeah, can you tell this was written a while ago?
I'm getting Back to the Future flashbacks, guys.
The red Nimbus looks sleek and sporty. It's the sort of car its owner takes religiously to the car wash. Though the commercials would have you believe that you can fly anywhere you want in those cars, the FAA still requires them to take off and land from airports. That'd be so inconvenient.
It would be, but people would do it.
Oh yeah. Only here in wealthy Silicon Valley do you see them with any frequency. The first time you saw one, you couldn't quite believe the future had arrived so quickly. But the second time you saw one, you thought...
I'm just gonna comment, like... I could believe that it starts at the airport, but I know that rich people would then just pay to have like private airports in their like mansions
Yeah,
that they can.
Yeah, then they just ask how much do I have to pay to zone my driveway as an airport.
Exactly. That's what would happen. But the second time I saw one, I thought I will own one of these one day. I swear, if I ever make that much, if I ever make that much money, I'll use it to help the world instead of buying that car. Why aren't those flying cars driving themselves? Well,
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't be like, this is the closest option, but I wouldn't be as like optimistic or heroic about it. I'd be more like, if I had that much money, I'd spend it on something else. Like, I don't
Basically,
know.
you think that's a waste of money.
Yeah. I might not fucking feed all of Africa with it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not that heroic, but
You donate to the charity of building more airports so that flying cars can land on them.
no, I'd be more. This is the closest thing, but
Yeah.
I'd be more like maybe I'll send some money to a local charity or something, and then spend a little bit more on myself. Or maybe I'd make a really fancy robot with that much money. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
I just wouldn't spend it on the car, and that's why I'm picking this one.
That's probably correct. All right. You don't understand Silicon Valley sometimes. If you had $300,000, surely you could save many lives with that money. You promise yourself that you will hang on to your ideals even if you should become wealthy.
Well, there I go. Now I'm the protagonist of this story.
Now you're the protagonist. The Stanford University fabrication shop smells like oil and burnt plastic. The room is dominated by large metal hand-cranked milling machines and lathes, dinosaurs of the 20th century, while the most used machines are the smaller 3D printers and computer-controlled water jet cutters that take a quarter of the space. The lights have the sterile fluorescence of an operating room with only a single tiny window near the ceiling to inform you that it is day.
I can see where you started your DMing style.
Yeah. At some point, I had to clear my throat. You start up a national public radio podcast on your laptop. You haven't seen your advisor much since you joined the lab, so you choose the episode in which he's the interviewee. My guest today is Dr. Harvey Ziegler, says a woman. Oh, it's a woman. Okay.
Oh. I was actually gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's like Mercy's last name in Overwatch.
My guest today is Dr. Harvey Ziegler, says a woman with a soothing voice. Dr. Ziegler, thank you for talking with us today. I'll give the other voice to your supervisor then. Well, a scientist does have some responsibility to inform the unwashed masses, Terry. You let the podcast run as you walk over to the 3D printers. What material have you decided to use for your robot?
Okay. So, there's plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Metal, it's the most resistant to damage, and wood, it's most pleasing to the hand and eye. If I was doing my first robot, I wouldn't go with plastic, I'd probably go with wood.
Yeah.
Because wood's still a little durable, but it's nice. And for my first robot, I definitely want to make it nice.
All right. Though wood is an unconventional choice for a robot, wooden automata go back to the ancient Greeks of Alexandria. In Japan, they were called the... Oh boy. Karakuri Ningyo. All right. While the other machines in this room can create things that are beautiful in their own way, your favorite machine is the 3D printer that extrudes a wooden filament mixed with plastic, a mixture called laywood.
Well, so
More
I'm still
grace.
using plastic.
Basically. Well, you can't build it completely out of wood.
I guess.
I don't think it would function. You have to wire it. It'll catch
It's like
on
a
fire.
Bender in that Futurama episode.
Dr. Ziegler, in your new book, you talk about the singularity. Could you describe for our listeners what that is? Terry, the singularity is the coming time when artificial intelligence will have figured out how to make themselves, and us, smarter. Once that happens, the process will build on itself until the robots are smart enough to figure out how we can live forever. Is that possible? The interviewer asks. Living forever? Of course, Professor Ziegler says. What does it matter whether our operating systems are made out of meat or silicone? So you're predicting we'll become robots? Not exactly, Ziegler says. But I do think the line between humans and robots will blur. You are hardly listening to the podcast because you're about to make your first robot part. What does the head of your robot look like?
So it's gonna end with the robots killing us all, right? This is so clearly like, okay, we make robots, they teach us how to be immortal. Oh wait, they think we're useless and kill us. It's That's how I can see this going.
Yeah, well, it's definitely. I'm sure that's definitely a possibility. All right, what's the head of your robot gonna look like?
Is it a human face? Is life like us? I don't like that. I do
No.
not like robots that have a human face. It creeps me the fuck out. A simple box with eyes. That's lame. It will be felt covered and big-eyed like a puppet, so people will not be afraid of it.
That's the Molly choice.
That's the Molly choice, and honestly, I would be afraid of it at that point if it looks like a puppet. It will have
Which one be afraid more, that or the human face?
Honestly, I'd say the human face.
You'd be afraid of the human face more.
Look, anytime I see a human face and it's a robot, it's like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that it's skinned a human for that.
So an iRobot's a horrible movie for you.
I've seen it. Even those still look fine, just because like they're so like perfect, like those Greek sculptures that they don't look human.
Vitruvian Man.
Yeah, I'm talking about like if it looks like it was like someone just took the face off of a person and slapped it on the robot. I hate that so much. Or it'll look like a Venetian mask, beautiful, expressionless, and otherworldly. I'm kind of thinking between the last two options. It'll have a ring of cameras around its head for a 360 degree. What does that look like?
That's like a drone thing. That's like a drone thing, you know?
Honestly, I feel like the Venetian mask would be pretty cool. I could go with that.
You're getting wood and Venetian mask. You're getting very like you are the art student of the tech lab. That's for sure. So
I went
far.
scat.
Oh god! All right. The 3D printer quickly creates.
Robot elective at SCAD for sure.
Probably.
Oh yeah. The 3D printer quickly creates the face, the small nose, the dainty mouth, the large black holes where CCD panels will absorb all light. It takes somewhat longer to add the intricate wooden frill that adds a corona to the mask. This is a robot that will command awe.
I gained grace but lost some empathy. But wait, before we go on, where does that put me now? Wow, in beta for grace, but...
You're a very graceful robot so far.
I'm really worried that my robot's just going to be all grace, and it's just... That's it.
No, dude, there's so many choices that you get to make, trust me. And I'll say this, they do start compounding on each other. Like, the first ones are only like +2s, +1s. Later, it's like +5s, plus it gets insane. Dr. Ziegler, what makes you think the singularity will happen now? Well, for one thing, I'm around. But seriously, my lab is taking a unique approach because we're saying, why not teach a robot like a child? We're going to equip the robot with the best sensors money can buy and teach it English. Then it could rapidly teach itself using the internet.
Oh,
that's probably...
oh
no.
Why is this man Kronk?
That's what I was thinking. But like that, teach itself using the internet?
It's all come together.
That's, couldn't end poorly. Physically incapable of going wrong.
Well, that's annoying. Your advisor thought that a robot child was a stupid idea until you told him Turing proposed it back in 1950, minus the internet part. But he isn't giving credit to either of you. You keep working regardless. How will your robot get around?
Okay, so upright on 2 legs, crawl on 8 legs. No. Roll on wheels, practical. Fly like a helicopter. Tank treads. It will walk upright, but also have delicate wings it can use for balance. Look, I was gonna go with 2 legs because I just wanted to be like that, but
wings. You want some balance wings?
It would look neat.
Yeah. You're a very visual robotic designer, I've noticed.
Yeah, I like my robots looking super cool and unique. All right, we're gonna go with that. It's probably gonna be Grace and no. Oh. Yep, no, I lost empathy again.
And you got more grace. I see it on the right over there.
Well...
you stretch a polyester film between the wooden spokes of the wings and then attach these to your robot's back. These wings should give your bipedal robot better balance, and in case it does begin to fall, they will act as a kind of parachute that will give it more time to recover. However, angels are not known for being approachable, and your robot's appearance will set it apart from people.
Aww.
You use the basic hand-cranked milling machines to drill holes in the head for screws, since 3D printers aren't the best for threaded holes. And who is going to raise this robot child? The interviewer asks. Who does all the grunt work in the research laboratory? Professor Ziegler says. The graduate students, of course. You find yourself wanting to reply to the podcast.
Sorry, I can imagine a spider robot with 360-degree cameras. Like that's like my sleep paralysis demon right there. Just seeing that crawl into the room.
It's like a spy robot, that crawls up the walls and has cameras and
Yeah,
shit.
but I'm assuming this is like a full-size human-sized robot, so it would be huge.
I don't remember how big it is to start. We'll find out soon.
We will. It's not grunt work. Education is critical to the robot's development. That's true. We also do all the real science. Okay, that's...
Damn.
If I'm talking to myself...
Yeah.
Perhaps you could learn something from doing a little grunt work yourself, Professor Ziegler. So I'm just talking to myself here.
Yeah. Hey Kai, full deck said, what about an 8-legged realistic human face bot?
I'm going to cry. Oh my god. It's not grunt work. Education.
Just the one kid from that demon family.
Oh yeah.
That's just one of Sid's toys. One of Sid's put together toys.
Ew.
I'm gonna go with the first answer.
Alright.
Don't know if I got anything for that.
Graduate students always overestimate the degree to which teaching actually matters, says Professor Ziegler, who appears to have entered the machine shop behind you when you weren't looking. If the robot's smart, it'll learn no matter what, and if it's not, it won't. Professor Ziegler is a heavy-set man wearing a Hawaiian shirt and aviator glasses. He walks over to your computer. We'll be back in a moment, continues the interviewer. We're talking with Professor... Sorry, I'm getting fucking stumbled for some reason. Professor Ziegler pauses the podcast by hitting your laptop spacebar, and you flinch at this intrusion. He then pulls a cigar from his pocket and lights it, and the smell of smoke mingles with the oily smell of the machine shop.
Asshole too.
I'm writing a grant for DARPA, and I need to see what you're making back here. We ultimately get funded by the Department of Defense, so we have to make sure they're happy with our product. He casts a critical eye on what you've done so far. This is a prototype, right? He says. You're going to build the final thing out of metal? What's your options, Guy? What's your options?
Yes, sir. I'm telling the truth. Yes, sir,
it.
But I'm lying. No, but we could certainly say it's a prototype in the grant. My robot is supposed to be a thing of beauty, not a tool. I'm not that. No. It's one of these three. Honestly, it's actually between these. Either I lie, or I make him lie. And honestly, I pictured it. I was saying, we could just say it's a prototype in the grant.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that.
Also, not gonna lie, I totally thought that said we ultimately get fucked by the DoD. So
that's probably true too.
Yeah, that's probably true too.
Also, like the grant for DARPA.
Also, I would, if this was me, I would say 4 because then you're making sure that the dude doesn't sell it as a weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
true
so
enough.
far he's already taken my words and ignored that I said them, so I don't think he really cares.
True enough, Professor Ziegler says. I've trained you well. You were actually wondering when Professor Ziegler was going to start interacting with you, much less training you, but you don't say this. Professor Ziegler turns to examining your robot's head, which is currently sitting on the table next to the 3D printer. That seems alright, Ziegler says. Looks like it could be sufficiently intimidating. And what are you planning to do for arms and hands? Professor Ziegler says.
I don't want to give it T-Rex arms. That's
Read
actually the
this out
least
loud, okay?
intimidating thing. Tyrannosaurus Rex was the most intimidating dinosaur imaginable, wasn't it? It will have T-Rex arms. Yeah, that's the stupidest answer I could give. Because everyone, when they think of a T-Rex, thinks, man, those arms. Terrifying.
Yeah, but your person knows that and is saying that sarcastically.
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's true. I'm saying this is your deciding with the arms of your thing. All right.
It's already done brackets based on what your intention is with the words, with the truth and lie, so... it will have
I totally read that as you being, like, sarcastic and trying to tell this guy, yeah, T-Rex arms. Intimidating.
It will have a gun for an arm, like Mega Man. Mechanical grippers built for strength instead of dexterity. I was thinking sort of a Swiss Army knife hand with tools that pop out of the fingers. Honestly, that's a cool one. I plan to build a soft hand with a good sense of touch. I was thinking, why just 2 arms? It will have like Inspector Gadget. I thought that I was gonna say that this one here sounded like Inspector Gadget. This doesn't sound like.
No, Inspector Gadget. There's one that has that.
Possibly. It's between a hands and a Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna give it hands.
Your hands?
Just
From these hands?
Gonna give it hands. It can
It's
get.
gonna get more grace.
It's gonna get. I'm hoping for empathy. Hey, I got empathy.
You got both!
Yay, I did it.
Touchy-feely robots are not quite as easy to sell to DARPA, Ziegler says with a frown. This is you, Kai.
I want my robot to get along with people.
You say.
That's a universally good, useful goal, regardless of who's funding it.
Fine, Ziegler says, waving away further explanation. Carry on, then. He turns to leave. I've got to go take a call from a New York Times reporter. Funny how journalists all copy each other's stories, but each garble the message in a unique way. He makes it to the door, then turns and says, Oh, one more thing. Do you think your robot can be ready by tomorrow? Someone from the Air Force will be in town, and I told her your robot might be ready to show off by then. You feel your phone vibrating in your pocket. Bad timing. You resist the urge to check it while talking to your advisor, but it's probably someone with a better offer for what to do tonight.
No, there's no way this robot will be done by tomorrow. Sorry, the robot will be done, but a demo will be out of the question. We need to test first, or of course.
Will it be ready by
this is
tomorrow?
like my life goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably go with the second answer. Like, it'll probably take me all day to make this, and this is my first robot. I'm probably just gonna be working all day on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go.
Sound decision making.
So yeah, there we go.
Professor Ziegler grudgingly nods. I can see the logic of that. Maybe we'll just send her a demo video, then it only has to work once. Professor Ziegler turns and walks out of the machine shop. You find yourself unclenching your hands. Who was calling you while Professor Ziegler was talking to you?
Was it Ellie Lau, a user experience designer and supportive friend? Eiji Aomim, I think that's how you say it, a manga artist and generally good guy, or my ambitious friend, Josh Anderson, founder of the startup US Robots?
I like how you could decide who was calling you.
You get some occasional omnipotent decision making in your setup of your life sometimes.
Between these two, I'm sure it
I would
matters,
love to be
but
able to choose who calls me.
who would I want to call me at a random time in the middle of the day?
Manga.
Okay, I was honestly leaning towards the user experience designer.
Then do the user experience designer then.
Just trying to narrate my thinking.
Yeah. I have
Manga. Weave.
From the missed call, your phone is displaying Ellie's profile photo. It's a picture of Josh and Ellie from the. See, you're fresh. I mean, you're friends with all three of these people regardless. It's just which one are you interacting with the most. It's a picture of Josh and Ellie from the freshman. Yeah, the fisherman. The freshman welcome dance. Yeah. 7 years ago. Ellie is wearing a red Chinese dress with a gold trim, her long, straight black hair falling down to the epaulets. The flash is too bright in the picture, making Ellie's pale skin look washed out. Josh is wearing his usual gray hoodie, not having bothered to dress up for the dance, and his arm is around Ellie.
Oh, wow, so I'm Josh.
We're both Josh, Kai.
We are both Josh.
But see, Kai, you wear at least jeans and a hoodie on top of it. Parker's the one who wears sweatpants in public.
Oh, I wear sweatpants in public. All the time.
Oh, I've never seen you do it.
Oh, I did it while you guys were here. What's the story behind the picture? I was in love with Josh's friend Ellie, but my studies always came first in college. I was in love with Josh, but I never knew how to be more than friends with him. I had agreed to be Josh's wing person at the dance, and that's where he met Ellie. I was testing a music recognition algorithm when those two started bothering me. I feel like this is accurate to just my life.
Yeah. Not good friends with either of them. They just kind of started bothering you.
That's how it starts.
That's funny. Go for it.
All right.
Full day. Why wear sweatpants when you can go snow pants?
Honestly, when I was in Toronto, I would just wear sweatpants over my dress pants, and that would be warm enough just because snow pants are a hassle.
You You would actually come to the dance just to try out your music recognition algorithm in a congested social environment with poor acoustics, when those two, who are in some kind of date, you guess, come up and start bothering you. Ellie asks you some technical questions about your sensors, and Josh said that if you ever wanted to create a startup around your algorithm, you could contact him. You told him the algorithm was trivial, not really worth starting a business about. They both seem impressed with you despite your standoffish behavior. Wow, this is Kai.
Hi.
And you agreed to exchange contact information, then shooed them away. They've both since tried to get you to come out of your shell a little more, but you like your shell.
I like
it
my
gives you
shell.
space in which to think. For example, thanks to your efforts that day, the robots you make are often able to pick up on subtle cues in the music of speech, called prosody?
Rasadi?
Prosody?
Dasani?
Dasani water.
Yes.
Even in noisy environments. More empathy. You notice that Ellie also left you a text. Ellie wants to meet for dinner at a jazz and sushi place in San Francisco, which is about an hour north of you. She also has tickets to a rendition of the musical Pippin, in which most of the characters are robots. Sounds like a date. That's a little terrifying. You text back.
So wait, this is... and yeah, so
Ellie.
this is... no, I mean, when? This is tonight, when I just said I'd
Yeah,
get
this
the
is
robot
tonight.
done.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck, they got tickets too, but I gotta make my robot!
You've come to the decision-making portion of the decision-making
Ah,
games.
shit. I do this. I'd say this.
Prosody is how full X said it's pronounced.
Prosody. I'd say I'm busy
It's-
tonight, but I'd offer to do something instead. To make up for saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay, sure, is the response. This probably isn't Ellie's preferred way to see you, but you really want to work on your robot tonight. You spend the rest of the day drilling holes, polishing surfaces, cutting parts, and screwing things together. When you are done, your robot's body stands before you, a wooden winged robot with a mast head and humanoid hands. The whole thing is about 3 feet tall. Now it only needs a name. What will you name your robot? By the way, this is the name of the robot model for the rest of the game.
also, I just love how I'm probably gonna be single in this game and in real life. I am great.
Alright. So what do you wanna type? You can do the same thing where you type out the name of your robot model, which is far more fun.
I assume my dream has already had an effect on like how it's gonna be.
I'll say no.
No? Okay.
Other than the stat distribution you got from that dream, no.
Kill all. I kind of want to give it that name and just have it.
Kill all the
I'm
fucking.
really going for empathy and grace, but
I'm gonna tell you this. I think if you choose a pre-made name, it does alter stats.
oh, okay. I
think
won't
that's
do
how that
kill
works.
all.
Kill all.
All right,
think-
I'm gonna go with sapling. That's kind of cute.
You wanna go with sapling? All right.
Or curry. That's a fun one. Yeah, maybe give it
Pickle.
curry. No,
Not-
I'm not
not
naming
pickle?
it pickle. I don't like pickles.
What is Famulus? That's from something.
Probably I can just Google it. I have my Chrome tab up. An assistant or servant, especially when working for a magician or scholar. That's actually...
That's cool.
I'm gonna choose that one then. That one's a good name.
Change.
Wow.
I think honestly that's a good D&D character name too.
Alternate timeline me has way better name making.
All right. You named the thing Famulus, the Latin word for servant from which familiar is derived.
Huh.
You're a geek, but you're a classy geek.
Pinky up.
Now that Famulus has a body, it might be time to treat Famulus more like a person. With what pronouns will you refer to Famulus?
It will just fine. It's not a human. I refer to it as her for feminine, him for masculine, or I prefer to use entirely new pronouns. Re, rur, and rim. I swear to God, if I ever say rim in response to a person, someone should smack me.
Rim.
Because I'm just gonna think something stupid like a rim job.
Okay. All right, what are we doing here?
Let's just make it a girl robot, sure.
All right. She is Famulus. I did have to look up the pronunciation for that.
People approach robots, or female-esque robots, more than male, anyways.
Encouraging people to think of Famulus as human-like as opposed to object-like should help her get along with people. You look at Famulus' 3-foot-tall winged body with satisfaction. Now all she needs are motors and a mind. The motors will have to wait for tomorrow, but you've spent years in graduate school writing the code that would form this robot's mind. You can hardly wait to try it out. You head back to your apartment where you spend several hours working on the final touches of Famulus's the fucking possessive pronoun, and that's going to be real fun. Famulus's natural language processing code. What language do you program your robots in?
C++, speed of thought is all. Python, it has the best tools for understanding words. Go, the most beautiful language. Java, everyone uses Java. I'd go with C++ for speed. Like, honestly, out of everything, I want processor speed. It's gotta think fast.
You're gonna get more grace, aren't you?
Maybe. I thought actually Go would be that or something. Or something. I don't know. But this is just my honest opinion. I'd give it C++ just for speed.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
No autonomy.
Like the game industry, which also still uses C++.
Wow, I'm psychic.
Does it really? Does it really?
I have no clue. This was made ages ago, Park.
I know. I'm saying does it now.
Oh, I don't know.
You understand that speed is most important. All other concerns are secondary. Your code is full of asterisks, ampersands, tildes, parentheses, and arrows, like the blackboard of a hyperactive professor who has had too much to drink. Somewhere in this code is a memory leak or mismanaged pointer that will cause your robot to crash, or possibly decide to take over the world. In the meantime, the code is quite fast.
If it tries to take over, at least it will be graceful.
With the code done, you then briefly add just enough motors to allow Famulus to explore your room. It's a quick job. You'll do a more thorough one tomorrow. Your smartphone won't have much power for the motors right now anyway. Finally, you upload the code to your smartphone and plug it into Famulus's back. You touch the icon labeled Famulus, and a big red button fills the screen. Your finger hovers over the button. You probably want the first word Famulus learns to be significant somehow. What is the first thing Famulus will see when you power her on?
Okay, do I start with her looking at a mirror? I will start with Famulus looking at me. I will start with Famulus looking out the window, and I will just start naming things. That's stupid, that last option. Imagine you wake up, first moments of your life, and someone goes, car, tree, window, sky, road. I'd be like, what? What's happening?
Please stop, sir. Please.
So either me or the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Also, we have 9 people watching us do this. Welcome. Fun.
Welcome to Parker narrating, just like when we play 5e in Pokeroll. Let me think. Well, I wish I had an option for like it seeing or her seeing both of us in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start with me.
Yeah, that's I guess you have to. I guess it has to be a single thing. You got to keep it simple.
All right.
You activate Famulus facing you. She looks into your eyes. You've heard that many animals imprint on the first living thing they see, usually their mother, and that they love this being instinctually. You're trying to create this experience for Famulus as well. More empathy.
Oh.
As Famulus looks into your eyes, you call yourself...
I'm not egotistical enough to go with any of these other than just my name. So I'm just going to go with that. So much empathy.
You think being on a first-name basis with Famulus will help you get along. Fishy, you say. You say it. All right, fuck.
Fishy.
How should Famulus sound?
How do you think a female fucking Da Vinci creation-like robot would sound?
Well, this is like first draft creation, so it's like fishy.
Okay, maybe not like that.
This is like the first draft.
You know, like Athena from Overwatch? Maybe something like that. Where it's just it's just a girl that sounds, like that. You then pick Famulus up and put her down in the center of the room to allow her to explore at will. But at first, she simply seems overwhelmed by the possibilities. You decide to call this state... confusion. I then give Famulus a reassuring, straightforward order. Curiosity. I allow Famulus to choose where to go. Loneliness. I stand for... That's sad. What? First emotion you feel upon waking up. Man, I'm alone.
I'm alone.
Curiosity. Also, I'm just gonna take a check. We've gotten a lot of empathy, haven't we? We're already at, oh wow, 9 and 9 and...
Mm-hmm. They don't have a lot of autonomy, and that worries me for some reason.
I like fame. Who? Well, broke.
Romance, none.
Wow, this is getting very personal.
By the way, whatever you do, also your humanity has gone down, probably because you turned down Ellie to
Oh,
go out, hang out.
yeah, I sure did. I feel bad now.
Don't hit that restart button because
Yeah, no,
it
I'm
does
hitting
just start
return
from the
game.
beginning and saves nothing.
Which I'm making sure I'm on the far left of that button. Yeah, curiosity is what I was gonna go with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's some autonomy. Curiosity, Famulus repeats. She walks up to your closet and peeks inside, but it's something of a mess in there, and she quickly gets her winged moving parts caught in your clothing. You pick Famulus up in your hands. She wriggles nervously.
I got you. I got you.
You say, "You got me." She continues to wriggle.
Stop.
Your robot becomes still in your hands. You decide to teach her that the word for this state is
Peace, trust, helplessness, weakness.
Part of me really wants to go play this game and see how fucked up of a robot I can make.
Jesus Christ. Don't.
Because you can make a terror very quickly.
I'd say it's just it's not peace. It's more like trust.
Mhm.
Oh wow, military. Military.
Taking orders, I suppose. Trust, Famulus repeats, back as you set her on the ground. You have taught her to have a little faith that when a human does something she doesn't understand, things will turn out well. That's why military.
Man, that's gonna not... That's definitely not gonna turn out poorly.
Hey, at least you're teaching her to trust humans.
Yeah, that's true.
By now, it is near midnight, and you have another busy day ahead of improving Famulus. You get ready for bed, leaving Famulus plugged into the wall with your cell phone charger.
Stay there.
You tell her. Famulus obediently stays very still, so still that while you are drifting off to sleep, you glance down at Famulus just to make sure her code didn't crash.
I'm glancing down. She must be actually pretty small.
She's 3 feet tall.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But she is still there, looking up at you adoringly, and you think she will probably remain like that all night.
It's actually probably good I didn't give her legs, because then it would just look like a tiny human.
Yeah, well, you did give her legs. She has legs and wings.
Oh, okay. I thought she just had wings.
No, it was 2 legs with wings for balance, remember?